Well, good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome back. Hey, it's been a while since I've been with you. I took a little bit of time through the holidays there. I started to say just kind of kick back and relax, but I didn't do a whole lot of kicking back and relaxing. I was just ultra super busy. Really enjoyed the holidays. Hope you did as well. Hope you had a really safe time. Enjoyed your families and what have you. But it's good to be back with you. Want to continue for a short time my series on the Messianic Temple. We're just told constantly that the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem is right around the corner. It's imminent. In 1992, Randall Price and Thomas Ice co-authored a book entitled Time to Rebuild. Well, nothing has happened. The temple has not and is not going to be rebuilt. Well, one of the famous passages, one of the most commonly appealed to passages by those who speak of the Messianic Millennial Temple, is Ezekiel and the last several chapters. But as I've demonstrated in earlier segments, there are severe problems with appealing to Ezekiel 40 to 47 for any idea of a future millennial temple. Let me illustrate just one of the many problems. In Ezekiel chapter 17, it says, "Then it shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings." Now, there's a lot of controversy about who the prince is here. Some who say it's Messiah. Others say that, no, this is the Nazi, the leader, a leader of Israel, but we're not discussing that. "It shall be that the prince's part to give burnt offerings, grain offerings, and drink offerings," now watch this, "at the feasts, the new moons, the Sabbaths, and at all the appointed seasons of the house of Israel. He shall prepare the sin offering, the grain offering, the burnt offering, the peace offerings to make atonement for the house of Israel." Now, I've already pointed out one of the severe problems, and that is that this term, to make atonement, is the same identical term that is used some 64 times in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, to refer to the offering of sacrifice in order to obtain atonement. It is never used to speak of, quote, to make an atonement in memorial. Never used that way. But notice the fact that here you have specifically the observance of Israel's feast days, the new moons, and the Sabbaths. Now, wait a minute. This is supposed to be in the millennium. These are elements of the Mosaic law. So, is the Mosaic law, with its new moons, its feast days, its Sabbaths, supposed to be imposed in the millennium? But in the millennium is the new covenant. And in the millennium, according to Hebrews chapter 10, 5 and following, there will be no animal sacrifices, sin offerings, burnt offerings, peace offerings, etc. And furthermore, Hebrews chapter 9, 6 to 10 says that the animal sacrifices, the old covenant cultus, would only be imposed until the time of the Reformation. Well, the time of Reformation is when man would be in the presence of God. In other words, the millennium. How are we supposed to correlate this? According to Hebrews chapter 9, the new moons, feast days, and Sabbaths would be imposed until man would be in the presence of God, i.e. in the millennium. But here, according to the dispensational interpretation of Ezekiel 47, the new moons, feast days, and Sabbaths would be imposed in the millennium, i.e. in the time of Reformation. Furthermore, Colossians chapter 2 says that the new moons, the feast days, and the Sabbaths were shadows of the good things about to come. The shadow would be done away when the reality was fully come, and it was about to come when Colossians was written. So, according to the Dispensationalists, the new moons, the feast days, and the Sabbaths are reimposed in the millennium, but according to Paul, they were about to be done away because the reality to which those shadows, new moons, feast days, and Sabbaths, pointed. You don't observe and embrace the shadow when the body has arrived. The dispensational view of reimposing new moons, feast days, and Sabbaths is completely contrary to the New Covenant teaching that Christ is the fulfillment of those Old Covenant feasts and festivals, and that they were supposed to pass away with the coming of Jesus Christ. You see the problem? There is no future millennial temple. Christ and his body is the Messianic eternal kingdom. Hey, we got more on this. You don't want to miss this. Now, in my DVD series on the book of Malachi, I discuss, as I will in my next segment, the relationship between John the Baptizer as Elijah and the coming of the temple of Ezekiel. Regular price on this series, $39.95. It is a 13-week DVD series, but if you mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, very special price. I'm going to repeat the offer, $25 post-paid. I want to tell you the feedback from those who have ordered this series has been fantastic. Take advantage of the offer today. You'll be glad you did. We'll see you on the flip side. God bless.